Feasing alert! Feasing alert! We have a Category 5 feasing alert here, folks! The catastrophe from RPG blowing up is as disastrous as the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki combined. It's as if Godzilla himself is stomping around Tokyo, leaving nothing but rubble in his path of total A-log death. He's screeching, he's screaming, and he's feasing on out. Kinoshé, I'll get you this time! So grab your loved ones and run for the hills, because the first battle of World War Fees has just begun.
Wow, I'm really all over the place, aren't I? I'm really all over the place right now. Yeah, so I wasn't going to do it, but then yesterday I tuned in because I was curious, I wanted to see. I mean, I was going to watch anyway, not that I was curious. I wanted to see people go off on Andy Worski.
Talking about the Fuck Worski Festival.
Retard, and I
He's
wanted
mad.
to hear all the multitude of reasons why Andy Worski is a fucking retard, and I know there's many.
Tons.
There's very many.
Limitless.
So I tuned in, sticks the opening, the intro. It was weak.
Like you could do better.
It was disappointing.
Like you did do
to
better.
say the least. So, after listening to that, I was like, you know what? The people demand RPG. Nobody.
Yes!
Well, actually, no, that's not true. That's
We
not true.
did
Ralph
demand it.
Ralph asked me a few times, and there were whispers here and there. The people were wanting RPG. They were wanting me, but
Especially the
I said,
haters.
not going to be able to make it. I got shit going on. I have to admit, I did lie.
Liar!
That was very dishonorable of me, especially,
Liar! He didn't have anything going on. He never has anything going on because he lives in his mother's basement.
Especially to lie to Ralph, of all people. That was just
Disrespectful.
That was a cowardly act, and I am ashamed of myself for doing that. But I did. But then I redeemed myself, okay? But then I redeemed myself, and I answered the call to duty.
The feasing call to duty.
It sucked. No offense, Sticks. But that call sucked, and I was like, you know what, Ralph? If you've got a slot open, I've got a slot open. If you get what I'm saying. If you've got a slot open, I've got a slot open. So I
Was that a gay joke? Is he making a little homosexual pun?
slid into those DMs.
Slid in.
I said, Ralph, let me in the...
Slid into those DMs like Ralph slides his thumb up women's bums.
Cool, let's do this thing. Because
Let's
Sticks
do it.
he dropped the ball. He dropped the ball big time.
Yeah.
So I called in, and, one of the first things I said was, like, truthfully speaking, I really don't have much of a history with Worski. I really don't. People might think that we do because he's...
Right off the beginning, he admits he's
I don't
non-tech.
even know anymore. How long was it? Like, how long was the Kino Casino smear campaign against me? Was that, like, 6 months? Was that, like, a year? I don't know. But it was a long... It was a long fucking while. It was a long fucking while. Like,
It was like 3 episodes and like his own little independent film. That was it. 6 months, a whole year of him being slandered, his good name.
were coming after me for quite some time there. So people might think that me and Worski, that we have some history. Truthfully speaking, we really don't. We have barely any at all, Like when
You're contradicting yourself there already, RPG. You said they slandered you for a year to 6 months. There should be plenty of beef there. There should be, at least.
was doing my stream, I wasn't really in contact with those guys. I tried to reach out to Ashton several times, multiple times. At the time, like, you guys know, I'm not proud to say it, but at the time, I was a supporter of the Kino Casino. I was supporting what they were doing because I was a seether, and they were seething about the same people that I was seething about. So, we had that common goal, I guess. And, every once in a while, I would message Ashton, and, like, he would just kind of blow me off. And I was like, that's weird. Like, why is he so, being so...
Wrecked. Ignored. Given the silent treatment. How is this supposed to you owning owning Worski or Ashton here? You owning up that they ignored you and never really liked you?
Cold, like, because I would expect, because we're both doing basically the same thing, or a similar thing. There's obvious overlap there.
But you were in
Just,
competition
it was
apparently
weird.
also
Like
to you.
I always got like this cold response from him, like he wouldn't respond, or like he was just very cold, and like he just didn't seem to like be interested in having any type of online relationship or whatever the fuck word
Friendship.
you would use. You know what I'm saying? Like he just like didn't seem interested in like having like any type of associate. I don't know. And I'm sure, he's a dishonest piece of shit, so I'm sure he'll retcon that and he'll say, that's because you're cringe, RP. Like, I'm sure now he'll use that as an opportunity.
That's because you are cringe, RPG. That's why people wanted you on the Fuck Warski Festival, because they knew you'd make a fool of yourself.
On me, that's who he is. He lies about everything, so you can expect him to.
Everything.
I just think, I don't know. I don't know what it was, and I wasn't like, my feelings weren't hurt or anything. I wasn't crying about it. I wasn't like, why won't it? But it was just an observation.
But you are crying about it now. You're still crying about the same thing that happened 2 years ago. What do you mean I'm not crying about it? I'm just talking about something that happened to me 2 years ago.
It was just an observation that, like, okay, like, he just is, like, I'm trying to contribute to this thing, and he's, like, not letting me. It's like, okay, like I'm trying to, send him info, send him clips, whatever. And it wasn't like I was overdoing it either. It was like a normal level of like, hey, like, whatever.
And like I was to specify, I wasn't a frustrated, angry ex-girlfriend constantly DMing you, why won't you listen to me, Andy? Why won't you love me, Warski?
A normal level of correspondence.
Normal level, sure.
So,
What's that? A message every day?
Anyway, where was I going with that? I keep like starting these points and then.
Like, what's the point in trying to establish a normal level of a conversation with him when clearly he's not responding to you? You should catch the cue, understand that socially, but I guess you're a little bit of a spurg, so you don't really understand social patterns like that.
Where was I going with that? Shit.
So, okay, we started in the beginning. In less than 5 minutes, RPG once again, while he was feasing out, while he was getting angry, once again lost track of his thoughts because he's so frustrated, so flabbergasted, and he just over and over and over again does this. He just freaks out, goes on a spur rant, and then goes back to like, oh, what was I talking about again originally? Oh, I was just seething. Okay.
It's over.
It's
It's
over.
fucking over.
It's been over for 2 years.
Worski and how I don't really have a history with Worski and how, so basically like any correspondence that I ever had with the Kino Casino, the very little that I did have, it was with
Saying the
Ashton.
same thing over again.
And, maybe like about like, I don't know, a few weeks before they started coming after me, Worski, like he was on vacation or something, and he was like he was obviously drunk as fuck, because like the guy's never attempted to communicate with me before, and he's like, yo, bro, like he's just being he's just being like overly friendly, which was kind of weird because we had, no former correspondence really.
He really probably appreciated that conversation in the moment. He's like, oh, Warski's texting me. Oh, my love of my life, Warski's DMing me. Oh.
He's like, yo, bro.
That's why he remembers
he's like,
it.
telling me all this shit. He's telling me about like his like nephew or something. I don't know, like his like niece, his nephew, something like that. And he's telling me like, oh, like how great children are, which is like really ironic coming from Andy Worski, who, as we all know, aborted his son, Andy Jr. And he boasts about that. He takes great pride in the fact that he massacred his one and only child. But he was.
Couldn't you have been more entertaining there with your insults? You could have been like, he murdered that baby. He scrambled the little fucker's brains out, and he was proud of it. But no, zero energy, zero charisma, zero interest in the topic itself. It's just talking points, just being blasted from his mouth. For real here.
He was, I don't know, just like trying to be friendly with me, I guess. And he was like, yo, bro, like it's so great, like, and whatever. Like it was just a, a very simple conversation. And then, like 2 or 3 weeks later, he's like stabbing me in the back because Gabe Hoffman told him to, and others told him to. It was a completely orchestrated attack. To this day, people, well, now they openly admit it. At the time, they were gaslighting on maximum overdrive, which is, by the way, like, just so people are aware, that's like the go-to defense tactic.
The Mossad was behind it, and they're tacting and conspiring against me. Jidduf's working against me. Gabe and Jidduf in the casino are all working on tag teaming, fucking me in the ass.
That these people use is gaslighting, right? Like, they're never gonna come out. Like, if people...
Yes. People gaslight other people on the internet, so they get angry responses from those people they're gaslighting, so it's good, entertaining content of you freaking out. Yes, RPG.
Are conspiring, if there's a conspiracy, the conspirators never come out and say, oh,
The casino question, the
yep,
KQ.
You're right, you caught us, we were conspiring, guilty as charged. That's not the way it works, whether it's the sector, whether it's outside the sector, right? Like, we know, for example, that during COVID, there was a fuck ton of conspiring going on between Big Pharma, between the Democratic politicians. Obviously, there was a great deal of conspiracy taking place. Did they ever come out and say it, though? Did they ever come out and say it? Like, did they ever say, yep, you're right, guilty as charged, we were conspiring, and this was all a scheme, and this was all, No, like, that's not how it works. Instead, what they do is they make you think that you are insane for having caught them red-handed.
And everyone did think you were insane, RPG, because you are insane in the membrane. Oh, fuck you.
Okay? Like, it's a very common tactic. They all do it. They all go, LMFAO!
It's great entertainment.
Wow, RPG, wow, listen to this maniac! Even though you're completely right. Even though you have...
The most energy he had on stream, the whole energy he had in this single clip right here was him talking about he's insane, he's a freak.
Them dead to rights. Wow, oh my god,
Gee,
god, did you
Willigers.
hear what he just said? And then, like, stupid people hear that and they think, wow, RPG must be crazy because Ashton's laughing and saying he's crazy. And Ashton, obviously, he's charismatic. And obviously he's manipulative, and some people somehow find him convincing. So he uses his charisma to manipulate people.
Not crying.
And that's what he did. And they had more clout than me at the time. And that's another...
They still do. What do you mean at the time? They still do. They have far significant clout than you. The only clout you have is people following around to try to make you angry and phase out.
Like, to a lot of you guys, like... to you, it's all about who has the bigger E-dick, which is really fucking gay because, like, I just can't imagine caring about that. But to you guys, like, you...
But here you are bitching and moaning about them for using their extra large clout and fame and fortune on the internet and digging you into a hole, Forcing you into a hole that you dug yourself and burying it on top of you. People caring about that are really stupid. I most certainly don't while I complain about it.
Just want to decide with them because, like, they had the bigger E-peen. They had more clout. So the facts of the matter were totally irrelevant. It was just like, well, I want, like, you want your online peers, like your anonymous online peers to think you're cool. Like, they don't know who you are. They only know your handle. They know nothing about you. They know your handle, and, like, you want these, like, people who don't know you to think the person behind your handle is, like, a cool person. So then everybody hops on the bandwagon, and that's all it was. It was a bandwagon. It was a dog pile. It was a legitimate conspiracy, and people are going to go, the same people, by the way,
He's
who
just going in circles here.
And participated in the conspiracy, even though they've already admitted to the fact that's what happened, they're going to take what I'm saying now, and they're going to go, RPG has lost his marbles. Wow, just like the media does
Wow! Wow! RPG has lost his marbles, truly! He's conspiring, talking about constant conspiracies over and over again, repeating the same points, going back to the media, conspiring and doing conspiracies, working against others. Yes, it's called teamwork.
When we call out their conspiracies against conservatives, against white men, you know, when we talk about DEI and like the liberal retort to that is, oh, you really think they're discriminating against white men? Do you have any research? Do you have any research to back up that point? And it's like, that's what they're fucking doing. And we all know that's what they're doing, but they're going to attempt to make you question your convictions, question what you know is true.
RPG admitting here that he began questioning his own reality of the world he lived in online 2 years ago. He was thinking about it, you know, maybe I am the mad one. Maybe I am the crazy one. But then the delusions kept filling up in his soul and his spirit and his mind. And he's just like, no, I'm not crazy. I'm not feasing. I'm not angry and crying. They are.
And I never did that. And I paid the price.
Doing it right now.
And I paid the price. And I would pay it again.
Being mocked.
You know, people want to know RPG. You know, if you could go back and do it again, would you do it again? Do what? What did I do wrong? Nothing. I would do everything all over again because I didn't do anything at all. They attacked
I didn't feed the trolls.
As I keep saying, as I will continue to keep saying, for
as I continue
no
feeding the trolls.
And you all, most of you guys, because I know there's probably more haters here than otherwise.
Like just admitting to it.
All went along with it, and you all participated. And now I see some people crawling back, and some people are like,
you all worked against me. You all teamed up and stabbed me in the back. It's like the meme with all the swords coming in together of all the different people surrounding it, and in the middle is stab RPG in the back.
oh, RPG, hey, like, can we be friends now? Or like, RPG, hey, can you unblock me on Twitter? We're cool now, right?
Trying to not sneak in there.
Actually. I actually don't know about that. I'm not sure if we're cool.
He's learning.
I'm not sure if we're cool.
Adapting.
And,
developing.
I'm going to continue to beat that drum. I know some people are probably sick of hearing it. Don't really care. Don't really
I don't care. I'm going to keep complaining about something that happened 2 years ago.
care. Okay.
Listen to what I have to say.
Yeah, we're not gonna promote that in my chat. We're actually not gonna
banning people. Banning them.
in my chat. So
Supervising.
I don't know who you are. Give me 1 second, folks.
Give me a second. Gotta figure out how to ban
Give me 1
people in
second,
Rumble.
folks. We have a bad faith cocksucker. That's something that the A-logs like to say that I say. We have a bad faith cocksucker in the chat who needs to be
Feased. He needs to be feased upon. A feasoning.
Faith cocksucker has been removed. Okay.
He's feasoning on that cocksucker.
That the cocksucker's gone.
Rip the
Lisa
fallen.
Marie says it's your stream, man. You talk about whatever you want. Thank you, Lisa Marie. By the way, can we get some 07s in the chat for Lisa Marie Smith? What a queen she is.
What a queen she was. RPG, you're doing a great job. Keep doing it, buddy. This is really entertaining stuff.
What a queen.
Queen.
She saw the light.
07s.
Friend for the 1 billionth time says, "Why are you pedo shielding?" We could get to that. Well, I know you guys are trying to bait me into talking about Ali Alexander. I'll talk about Ali Alexander. I talked about it yesterday. I'll talk about it again today. I will happily talk about it again. You think I'm like afraid to talk about this? I'm not afraid to talk about anything. I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to fear. I have nothing to be ashamed of.
Not ashamed of strangling your girlfriend?
I will talk about anything. We're going to talk about everything. Okay? Now, maybe I'll answer your question sooner if you super chat. Like, it's like $5 to super chat. So you know what? How about this? Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do from now on.
13 minutes.
For the bad faith cocksuckers. Like Bob Friend. Bob Friend, you've been a bad faith cocksucker the entire time today. So here's what I'm going to do, okay? I'm going to ban you because...
Big meanie face.
You know, we're going to have a new rule.
Rip Bob.
Bad faith cocksuckers get banned. So you're banned. Now, if you want to get
Justice
unbanned,
for the fallen.
you have to super chat $5. Okay? If you super chat $5, you will have unlimited chat access. I will give you unlimited. I will never ban unless you. Okay, here's the deal. I'm gonna ban bad faith cocksuckers. Now, if you super chat $5 afterwards, I will unblock you, and you'll have unlimited chat access. The only thing you can't do is like post my social security number. Okay?
Or say your name,
Like,
Teddy
you just can't
Feaser.
like be doxing. Okay?
Yep.
So $5, I unban you. Otherwise, you're not just gonna, spam my chat with the same bullshit over and I think it's a great deal. Weewick says sounds like a good deal to me. I think it's a very fair. And by the way, I'm not going to scam either.
He
Bob
swears
Friend
he won't lie
gave
and
me
scam.
$5.
Trust me.
It's going to cost you $5 to shut up my chat. You're not going to do that for free. You're going to give me $5, and that's not. I'm not asking for much. I'm not asking for much.
He's not wrong there, but I don't
Hold on a
believe
second.
him.
Hold
Nobody
on a
should
second.
trust
I
him.
think we have another bad faith cocksucker. I see somebody
Just doing
who
all
is,
the banning right in the start.
on Bob Friend's behalf, so that person
Wasn't even the first 30 minutes.
Okay, you're out of here, and now you owe me $5 to use the chat.
Give me
That's
your
it.
money.
That's it. $5, and if you can't afford $5, then, truthfully speaking, you just don't deserve to be here. Yo, Virtuous says, can I pay $5 to keep him banned for you? For you, you know what? I'll cut you a deal. Free of charge. I'll do it for free. He's banned forever.
Rip.
That's on the house.
Remember the
Virtuous
fallen,
one.
folks. It's important. We're setting
Give me
up
a second,
something
folks.
here.
I need to hydrate real quick.
It's important that you get all these details here because something's going to happen here. There's a bit of some
so
issues with
What
Rumble.
if we raise a goal? What if, like I set a goal, $50? If the haters and seethers donate a total of $50, I will respond to the Ali question. The Ali Alexander. That's the most pressing
He'll give the
issue
answer
of the day,
if you give him
folks.
$50.
This is the most relevant and pressing issue of the day. Ali Alexander.
The goal is
What
set.
does RPG think about Ali
The grift is in
Alexander?
motion.
And let's just be frank. Let's just be honest and frank. Does it really matter what I say?
No.
Are you gonna
We just
are
want to
you
see you get
really gonna
angry.
Like me? No, you just are looking for more fuel, for more stamina for your hatred. You just want to hate me even more than you already do.
They just want to laugh at
You
you.
want me to talk about Ali Alexander, and no matter what I say, I can condemn him to the deepest pit of hell, which, by the way, I do.
Sets his goal, immediately gives it for free in less than a minute. Excellent work, RPG. Excellent work. That's how you grift. You say, hey, I'll do this for you if you give me money, and then you just hand it to them like that.
Which, by the way, I do that. And you'll say that I could have gone deeper. You'll say RPG didn't go deep enough. So
You all are so mad at
let's just
me.
be honest with each other.
The eternal victim.
Let's just be honest with each other. Okay, I see one more person. Is there one more person crying about Ali Alexander? It's like the only thing these people want to talk
Banning
about.
all these
It's
people.
it's
He
the
probably
only
banned
thing.
like 30 accounts at
It's
this
the only
point.
thing. They just want to talk about Ali
The
Alexander.
second he learned how to do it, he's just started going on a
This is how you want to
rampage.
spend your remaining time in this plane of existence is talking about Ali Alexander? I don't care at all about. He is disgusting. I've always thought he was disgusting. Always.
No shit. Who doesn't?
Anyway, let's get back on topic here. Sorry guys, but the bad faith cocksuckers. You see
Is that
why
the topic?
I called them that? Look how bad faith and cocksuckery they are. We were having a great stream, and then they totally derailed it.
They derailed me talking about something that happened 2 years ago.
Is there any mods in the chat, by the way? Are there any mods? I'm not seeing too many mods right now.
Uh-oh.
That could be an
There's
issue.
a problem.
That's okay. Oh, I unplugged my headphones. Hold on, guys.
All the technical issues. He doesn't have mods. He doesn't know how to ban people. And now his headphones
Okay,
got
you guys hear
unplugged.
me? Test. Is this thing on? I think it is. I think we're good. Elephant Mario says A-Log Big Tech. Mike Lowry, Big Wife Beater.
Oh no!
Maybe we'll get to. He's really not so relevant to me anymore. But maybe we'll get to him. I'll think about that. Big Wife Beater. Big Wife Beater. Big Wife Murderer. Okay. So let's get back on track.
Yeah.
My history with Andy Warski, basically non-existent.
Yes. We already know that. You mentioned that in the start.
With Ashton, not much.
Just rehashing the
But
same things over
I
again.
needed to call in because the Styx opening was weak.
He's repeating the same steps and talking points over and over again, talking about no relationship with Andy, talking about his relationship with Ashton, but then going back to Styx being a horrible person. It's a little bit of insanity going on for RPG.
And... Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. I see a giant wall of text. I'm not going to read. Sorry, guys. Look, $5, okay? If you want me to read your giant wall of text, $5. I know you guys are used to me, reading every message in the chat and responding to them all. I don't do that anymore. Those days are over with, okay? Those days are over with. Now, I must be paid.
Give him money.
I must be paid. Lots and lots of money. Hold on, folks. I'm getting a notification.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm being told that Shorty Respecter must be banned immediately. So we're gonna do
Rip
that.
Shorty. Another
We're gonna
fallen
do that.
comrade in the war in World
Okay.
War Fees.
One
He was a
second,
good
folks.
soldier.
Very, very short.
Dedicated to the
intermission. Have
cause.
To mod somebody and
Need to mod
yeah,
somebody.
we gotta remove the bad faith cocksucker. So just
He
give me
can't
one
just
moment,
do
guys.
all the banning. There's so many people he has to ban, and he's like, I need to mod somebody here. This is a bit of a problem. I can't handle all of this. But eventually, we get back to RPG talking about the feasing and seething of things. But more importantly, he asked for help from the mods to janny some people up so he could properly continue on with the stream. But unfortunately, there's more problems. Such peaceful music.
How do you mod on here? That's what I'm looking for right now.
Aren't you supposed to be in tech or something RPG? Why can't you do a quick little Google search? Hey, how to mod somebody in Rumble livestream?
How do I mod? I need to mod.
Help me, chat. Help me, my fans, my friends.
You would think it's in settings. I'm not seeing it in settings though. Where else could it be? Is there a command I could type?
There's a search
their name?
or a query you could type.
I'm not seeing that. / then mod, then name. Let's try that. Mod. Oh, I think you're right.
He had to get help
Right,
from
actually.
chat.
It's that simple.
There's still RPG simps out there. Somehow. Boom. Got his
Did
mods.
we do it? We did it.
Mission accomplished.
I see a lot of people wanting to be modded. Most of them I don't recognize. Actually, all of them I don't recognize, so they won't be modded.
Oh, come on.
If you give me $5, I'll think about modding you, but I probably won't.
Ooh.
Just being honest.
What if they give you 20?
Okay, let's continue. Let's continue. Wait, I thought that guy was banned. I thought you banned that guy. He's back?
He's made a new alt, or the mod he modded
So,
unbanned him.
Shorty says, these niggas don't even know Ero Manga Sensei. Were you the one who sent that in? You
I don't even know what that is.
bastard. You're the one who sent that in, weren't you?
Oh no, shoddy respecter's
you.
working against him now. He's
He's
feasing
gotta go.
punts his own fans.
He's gotta go. Look, I'm not caught up on all the latest drama. Okay, so I
Do you
don't
believe
know
that?
what the lore on that guy is. I don't even know the lore. But people that I trust very, very highly say he's no good. Captain Marlowe says it's pronounced Sensei, Ted. Further proof that I don't know what the fuck it is, okay? Good. I'm glad I said it wrong. I'm glad I said it wrong. I'm glad you corrected me. Power chat is down. Hold the phone, folks. Is power chat down? No wonder why I'm not getting...
All the
I don't think it's
technical
down. Is it
issues.
down?
Oh, what a great stream. What a great first stream coming back. He starts out feasing and going on tangents and losing his train of thought and consistently repeating himself. And then he has a bunch of technical issues and a bunch of people he needs to ban. And he can't get
Can anybody
paid for it.
confirm that? Weewick says, just know, top Ted A-log. Top Ted A-log, Shia AF, that's so funny. Defends his pedophilia? Well, then he's gotta go. Anybody who's down with Shia F has to go.
Rip.
Yeah, nobody
Good
who's cool
riddance
with
to
that
him.
guy is cool with me. Thanks for letting me know.
RPG did something right for
CMK
once in his
says,
life.
failed mine? Wait, so people are trying to super chat and it's not going through?
Womp womp.
People are trying to give me money?
Yeah, they're trying to pay so they can
Well,
endlessly
Turbo says
shit in your
everybody's
chat.
saying the same thing. What the heck is going on? Oh man, you know what? I don't think I could fix this right now without disappearing for 10 minutes or so. I'll take a quick look at it. I'm sorry. I know this is gonna not be the most interesting portion of the stream, but just give me a few minutes. Give me like 3 minutes. I'll put something more interesting than this on.
Gotta find the hot, slick
I'll put
beats.
on.
Gonna fix it
over
up.
you guys, just for
Gonna
a few
stick
minutes.
around. Ooh.
Let me look into this. If it's gonna take long.
Let's look into this. You see that? He shared his old subscriptions for his old RPG account. I could go through them, but none of them were really interesting. You know, clearly he hasn't been using the account for a while because they're mostly irrelevant accounts at this point. So, I was going to talk about some of that stuff, but, you know, he's going to leave. He's going to come back and be like, okay, I fixed it. I fixed Power Chat. You can give me your money now. And then he continues on, feasing out for a bit more. And we're going to come back into him losing his train of thought once again, as RPG does.
I got it. We're good. Okay, so I was talking about, like, my history with streaming. Ali, no, I was not talking about Ali. I know the chat wants me to talk about that, and we will later. But all I ever wanted to do was talk politics. That's it. That's all I ever wanted to do. I didn't know what the fuck the sector was. I didn't know what A-logging was. Like, I'm not like these people. I know that I did do that for like 2 years, which is like really cringe and embarrassing when I think back on it. Like, to think that I was ever, because, you know, as I've uncovered these people, as I've exposed these people one by one, like, these are the lowest of the low.
Oh,
like, these people, they are
the scum of the earth.
They're trash. Like, for some reason, and look, like, there's black trash, there's white trash, right? Like, every race has some section, right? Like some percentage of
Trash.
every race has trash.
And this is supposed to be your supporter for the white race here, folks. The man coming in and admitting, yes, there are people in trash from all groups of people. And maybe there's some truth to it. But you know what? You probably shouldn't acknowledge it as much and be like, yeah, this trash and that trash are both similar and comparable. When you kind of look at it, you're like, actually, you know, I'd rather take the white trash any day.
And, like, I don't know what it is about...
All he
I guess
wanted
it
was
does kinda
politics.
make sense. But for some reason, like, one by one, as we expose these people, like, they're basically all white trash. And I'm not white trash, okay?
Oh, he's better than them. He's better than that white trailer trash scum.
I'm not. And, like, that's not, you know, I'm not being, like, look, I got no issue with good people. If you're white trash and you're a good person, I really don't care. But these people are, like, white trash, and, like, they're not good people, and, like, they're living in squalor, and, like, they're living in filth, and, like, they are filthy, and they have no...
And, like, they make fun of me on the internet.
nothing
And
going
like,
on
and
at
like,
all, and they're just complete and total losers.
total losers
They're
for
just
making
complete
fun
and
of
total
me.
losers. They're nobodies. They're low lives. And then like you're gonna get on the
Worms.
internet, and then you're gonna what? Like talk shit about me? Really? Really? It's like, but we saw who you are. They're gonna talk about like, my physical appearance. Really? Like, look, I never said I was Tom Cruise. Okay, I never said that I was
They made fun of me for how I look.
like, whoever. I never said that. I never will say that. I think I'm like a moderately attractive person. I hope. Like, I hope I'm moderately. Like, I hope I'm like whatever. Like, I don't think I'm an 8, a 9, definitely not a 10. But I think that like, like there are at least some women on this planet who find me attractive. I've never had any issues in that department. And like, another
Lies! Lies! And we'll expose those lies later.
thing, they love talking about my head. They love talking about my hair.
Yes,
They
we do.
love.
Oh, yes.
They are fucking and like I don't even know where this came from. Actually, I guess we could do like the hat lore, the hair lore.
Give us
I guess
the
we could do
deepest
that. Like,
lore.
I probably mentioned it on stream at some point, but like I started streaming back in I don't even know. It was a while ago. Like I started streaming on Twitch like probably honestly I don't know, like maybe like close to a decade ago, something like that.
Whoa, 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 whoa. A decade ago? You telling me you were out there streaming on Twitch in 2015? Dude, you're old. You're real old. You know what I was doing in 2015? I was going to school full-time while working full-time. I didn't have time to deal with dumb internet bullshit. Maybe browse a site here, a board there, But no, I didn't have time to start streaming. But RPG's here admitting, yes, I was really old. I was already graduated college at that point, and I found a job, and I decided to pick this thing up. On
Something
Twitch.
Like that. Like I started streaming a long time ago. No, was it that long? Maybe it wasn't that long.
Boomer.
Well, whatever. Like 5+ years ago, let's say, because I'm forgetting the timeline. I'm really bad when it comes to.
He's so old, he's losing his memory.
The timeline. But my whole thing, like originally, right? Because like when you're gonna start a stream, like you kind of want to have like a brand, right? And I'm not really like a creative guy.
A persona.
Like, I didn't put like a ton of thought into it.
We can tell.
But there's this picture. I think it's actually.
That's why you were boring. An uninteresting RPG, because you're not creative about how you go about things.
It's currently my banner on X, I think. Let me see. Yeah. Like this picture right here. See this picture right here?
Ash Ketchum?
It's like Ash from Pokemon crying. Like I don't know what it is about this image, but like for some reason.
It's a very fitting image when you look back at it. Ash Ketchum crying, sad about something, and here we are listening to RPG be sad and cry about how he was treated on the internet 2 years ago. Very, very, parallel. Symmetric. Very symmetric with the very discussion we're engaging in.
Then, like, I just took a liking to this image of Ash. Like, people were posting it. I think it was, like, after Trump's first victory, right? Like after his first election victory, people were, like, posting this. Like, they were memeing it. So, like, I just liked that image. Like, I just thought it was cool. Like, whatever. It's a stupid thing. It's, like, a stupid thing that, like, personally...
Yeah, it's very stupid.
I thought it was cool. Like, it wasn't that deep. Like, for no particular reason, I just liked that image.
It's very deep now these days.
So, like, my
deep
brand is, like, really shitty. Like, it's not really a very interesting story.
Your brand is wearing a red hat to cover your bald head and crying on the internet. That is your brand. That is your Persona RPG. That is who you are.
But, like, my brand, especially on Twitch, at the time, people, at the time, there was, like, people that were streaming politics on Twitch, it was like 9-1 liberal to conservative. Like there was like barely anybody because like basically the TOS like doesn't let you be, and it's still that way. It might be even worse now. So like, and also at the time, a lot of people were like afraid to, use their face and speak openly about their support for Trump. Like people might not remember this, They might think that I'm exaggerating, but
It's like I'm getting a story or a tale from grandma or grandpa, your mother. You know? Oh, back in my day, back in the old time, in the first meme war, it was very unfortunate if you openly supported Trump. People were really angry with you. RPG. You know, that was like 9 years ago at this point. It's not that long.
like that's literally how it was at the time. Being a Trump supporter publicly, it was so verboten, it was so like forbidden,
Evil.
that like most people, they would not want to associate their real life persona with the fact that they're a Trump supporter, because like at the time people were getting fired for that. Like, actually, that's not an exaggeration. People were actually getting fired, like losing their jobs just because they supported Trump. That's how bad it was. So, my thing, my angle, my hook, my shtick was that I was going to be like one of,
A big crybaby. A big crying, bitching baby.
very, very few streamers on the platform
Bitching about
that
how
will,
they're
like,
mean to
always
Trump
wear
supporters.
the MAGA hat, right?
Bitching about how they're mean to RPG. Bitching about how they're mean to Nicholas J. Fuentes.
At the time, that wasn't like that was. That was in at the time. Like now, that would be like a totally cringe thing to do, right? Like if my thing was wearing the MAGA hat. But like my thing was like, okay, like I'm gonna be the guy that wears the red hat, and like every time I stream, I'm gonna wear the red hat.
Yeah.
And like that's the
Red
origin
hat,
story
bro.
of the hat. And like nobody
It's such a stupid, retarded origin story. That's the big, behind the scenes legend and tale why RPG wore a red hat. Because Trump had a red hat. Very creative, very inspiring.
nobody ever, like literally for years. Nobody ever said anything about like, hey, RPG, like, why are you wearing a hat? It wasn't until the Kino Casino, until they started attacking me, and until, the gay logs and the bad faith cocksuckers, they just like, out of, thin air, they just concocted this tall tale, which is all that they do.
Bald.
And then all of a sudden I became bald. It's like,
You are bald! That is a known fact! That is a fact in the tale and legend of RPG.
okay, and then, like, that just became the lore. That just became like a matter of fact
so mad.
truth about RPG. And like, to this day, like, I think, like, I don't know how many people don't know that that's false.
Lies.
And like, that just, it goes to show you, like, just how powerful, like, the sector propaganda can be. Like the other day, I
Not
posted
angry.
a rare selfie. I don't like to like respond to the haters, because it's like, yeah, whatever. I know the truth, and like that's all that matters. If you want to lie about me, like whatever, like you're a fucking loser, and it doesn't change the like you lying doesn't change the reality. That's my view on it. You lying doesn't change the reality. And even if you ever try to correct the record with these people, it's not like if I correct the record, they're going to start telling the truth. The other day, I posted a selfie, which had nothing to do with that. I just posted it because there was like the story in the news where Elon Musk, they like the left was freaking out. They said he had a Nazi haircut, which is like an absurd thing, obviously. So then I, as a joke, well, I had actually also just gotten a haircut. And I had the same, general style of haircut that Elon Musk had gotten. So I made a joke about, I went to the barber, I asked for the Elon, and, they knew exactly what to give me. Like, whatever. It's not the funniest joke in the world, but it was just...
He admits it wasn't really a joke. It wasn't really funny. It was just more to put my message out there, my narrative about this story of RPG, that I am not bald. And they laughed at me. They made fun of me.
It was relevant at that moment. And then, like, as soon as I post that, Did all the people that were lying about me for years, did they
Years.
correct the record? No, like they just continue to lie, which is why
They just continue to lie about me. I showed them the evidence. I showed the proof that I'm not bald. And they all started commenting and retweeting below it, laughing at me, saying, "This is not true. Not true, RPG." We have it right here. Look at me, Elon Musk haircut. I have hair. And then all the comments, just people supporting him. Would it kill you to smile? You know, just people generally supporting RPG. Nobody being critical. There was one guy. There was someone who was. RPG confirms he got a hair transplant. He got the Elon cut. It's a fact. He admitted it. He admitted to being bald here, folks. He even shared it. He posted the hair transplant pic and admitted that it's an Elon. An Elon who's bald.
Which is why it's a trap. It's a trap to even try to correct the lie, because
Then
you
why
correct
try?
the lie, they don't start telling the truth. They just lie more. They just lie more. Like
Lies.
They just keep going. Like, if people hate you, they're going to lie about you.
They don't hate you.
forever.
Forever.
Another good example.
Wait. Does RPG honestly think that forever, for the rest of his life, as he's on the internet doing whatever and whatnotness, on YouTube, on other places, people are constantly going to be following him, stalking him, calling him Teddy Feaser and saying he's bald? Why would you put up with that shit for the rest of your life? Don't you have any other better aspirations that you want to work towards or goals? Like, for real here, man. The rest of my life, they're gonna be stalking me and calling me Teddy Feaser.
Of this is, like, speaking of Elon Musk again, you know, a lot of people on the left, obviously, especially right now, they hate Elon Musk. And every time I go on Reddit and there's a thread about Elon...
Ooh! Now it's all coming together, folks. It's all making sense. RPG is an avid Reddit user. He's an avid Reddit poster. He's a straight-up Reddit mod. And he's jannying and sweeping every single Reddit thread he can that's pulled up being about RPG and correcting the record and banning them.
Musk, every leftist in the thread is unironically saying that he did a Nazi salute at that, what was it, like a Trump rally? I forget, whatever, doesn't matter. But you guys, everyone knows what I'm talking about. They unironically say that he did an actual, and he didn't do that. Like, everybody knows
Cope.
that he didn't do that.
I like to think Elon did it. And he tried to cover up how he did it. He said, "From my heart goes out to you." Except he said that after he did the salute. That was the best part of the whole thing. He did the salute and he meant to say it while he was saying those lines, but he did this just straight up Heil, Sieg Heil right there, and just said, "Oh wait, my heart goes out to you." Yes.
They know that he didn't do that, but they hate him.
They hate him.
They hate him and they're trying to destroy him. Are we seeing any parallels here? They hate him. They're trying to destroy him. So they're saying something that is patently false about him.
He's like
hoping
Elon Musk.
that it will destroy him. And it won't destroy him because nothing will destroy Elon Musk. And that's something that I'll say for the end of the stream because we're not going to get into that right now. And I know most of the chat probably does not like Elon Musk. I do like Elon Musk. I like him a lot, actually. But yeah, Elon Musk, like,
Huge
you're
Elon
not going to
fan.
beat him, folks. You're not going to beat him. Like, did the stock go down? Yes. Will the stock rise again? Yes. Yes, it will. Like, if you bet against Elon Musk, you lose 100% of the time. That's not going to change. Ever. Yo, $2 on Rumble Chat, Night World.
Yo!
Happy Sunday, RPG. Are you observing Lent this season? Observing it every season. I don't wait for the season. I don't wait for the season to approach. I just do it all year round. No, but in a...
I don't think that's how Lent works, RPG. You know, there's a set organized pattern of festivities and festivals and worship services that are planned out that are deep in meaning in different ways?
No, serious response. Yes, I am. Thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate that. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Let me, it's getting kind of stuffy in here. Let me just put the air conditioner on a little bit cooler.
He's getting so angry, feasing so hard about the bald head and how people called him bald that he's sweating and dripping from his face. He's red as a tomato, as red as his hat, that he has to go and turn on the AC because he's so pissed off. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his hat already from his mom's spaghetti. He's nervous, but on the surface, he looks feased and ready to drop bombs on the casino, but he keeps on forgetting what he last said, while the whole chat yells, "Tad, Tad, Tad!" He opens his mouth, but only feasing comes out. So what does he do? Well, he bitches about Jaden now.
Everybody eats. I thought, hey, there's enough to go around. Like, we don't need to be fucking, like, stabbing each other in the back. I never viewed it that way. Ashton apparently did view it that way. Judas...
Back at it.
I don't think he viewed it that way, really, but he's just a pussy. Judas is just a pussy. Like, that's it. The guy is a pussy. We all saw the clip where he shakes. The man confronts him and he shakes. He is a pussy. What he did to me, and like I know, like I know what the retcon is. I know what the Judas gangers say. Oh, RPG spurred. No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Judas.
It is what happened, and it's what's happening exactly at this moment, RPG, while you were doing this stream.
Had the opportunity to stand by me as an, and I had
Why won't you help me?
You know, relationship, whatever you want to call it. So whenever I say relationship, people like they make fun of me and they're like, oh, you know, like, oh, he thought he had a friend on the internet. Okay, well, I guess I do. Guilty as charged. Like there's.
He thought he had friends on the internet because he doesn't have friends in real life.
Some people online that I like. That's apparently something to be embarrassed or ashamed of. So I thought that, like, Judas was like...
Have you ever thought that maybe these strangers that you have never interacted with in person are just close acquaintances that you have some sort of agreement and some sort of relationship with? You know, they're not necessarily your best friend that's supposed to back you up and battle with you with other people on the internet. No, they're just people you engage with.
A legitimate,
positively.
You know, online streamer friend of mine. You know, I thought that, like, we had each other's backs. You know, if there was such a blatant...
They were in the trenches.
If there was such a blatant operation
battling back the left and the groypers
against Judas, I wouldn't go out there and, you know, prattle off A-log talking points, which is what Judas did. Everybody knows that's what Judas did.
Judas did that after the casino did it. Judas did that much later on because he's just like, okay, I tried to talk him out of his delusions. I tried to talk him out of going insane and feeding the trolls, but it didn't work. So what do I have to do? What can I do? I can just sit there, point, and laugh at him.
That's why he's Judas.
That's
and he
why
can come up with
Judas.
every fucking excuse on earth. Every excuse on earth for why. No, that's not what I did. Everybody saw what Judas did. He folded.
He's so mad.
He folded and he betrayed me. And he got away with it. He got away with it because, you know, it's like Game of Thrones. And Kino Casino, they have more clout. So I'm going to side with Kino Casino because, you know,
like
I
a hamster on
wanna,
the wheel,
I don't wanna take the
running
full,
round
the
and
full,
around.
But, like, he just didn't want to deal with the repercussions of having my back. And in that moment, I learned who Judas really is. And everything that happened afterwards, it's all bullshit. You know, all the chest thumping and RPG this and RPG that, and it's all bullshit. Okay? The guy folded. He's a pussy. He needed to have my back. And instead, he played into the fucking gay op. He played into the op. It's like, bro, are you new here?
Are you?
Like, brother.
Yeah, RPG, are you like new here, bro? Are you like new here, bro? Did you know not to feed the trolls? Did you know that if you don't get the joke, you are the joke? Did you ever hear about don't freak out?
Is this your first day on the internet, you fucking idiot?
You
do
knew?
know?
Newbie?
He doesn't care. He doesn't care. It doesn't matter to him because, Victor Sharp, pedophile Victor Sharp, he's got his back. More ways than one, Victor Sharp's got his back.
Woo.
So, he was like, you know what? I'm
Who?
just gonna cut him loose.
I think he cut you loose.
I was doing all the heavy lifting. I was doing all the research. I was making all the clips. Judas wasn't clipping shit. Judas didn't start making clips of his own until like 5 months after I stopped streaming. I was making all the clips. I was doing all the homework. I was watching all the replays.
2 years ago.
All the timestamps.
2 years ago.
Not that I'm complaining, by the way.
Yes,
you are. At the time, I wasn't like, when is Judas gonna do his fair share? At the time, I didn't care at all. It didn't bother me at all. I just thought that, eventually
Lies.
I would be rewarded for my hard work. That day never came. That day never came. By the way...
Not angry.
By the way, if
not
you
complaining.
supported me in the past, I don't mean to sound ungrateful. I don't mean to sound bitter, okay? Because if you supported me, it's not...
You do sound bitter. What are you talking about? He's trying to simp back for his old followers that are like, okay, it's his first stream back in a while. Let's see what he has to say. See if he's grown up a little bit as a person. He's not bitter and spiteful. And he has to come out and be like, guys, just trust me. I'm not bitter. Just trust me. RPG, when you have to sit there and justify yourself and give your own personal opinion about how you're behaving and acting to convince them that you're not actually behaving in that way, I think you already lost. I think they already think you're rather bitter.
It's your fault. If you've given me $5 ever, it's not your fault, I'm just saying, like, the reality of the situation is I put a lot of work into that stream, and a lot of people were piggybacking off the work that I did, and I wasn't getting a ton of credit for it, and I wasn't getting a ton of, financial compensation for it. Then when I watermarked, it was a big scoop that none of these have ever, will ever in their lives get a scoop. They don't get
Had to
scoops
edit
at
that
all. All of their shit is made up. They don't even know what a scoop is. They don't get scoops. So here I am, my star is growing, I'm getting more attention.
To add some foreknowledge for those of you who don't know about this, but when he did add, the watermarks on it, he added like 3 or 4 of them on like one screenshot or one video, and he put in big bold letters his for on X at the time being RPGs, I did this, and it's right there like in the middle, and it's very distracting, and you could just like, stick in the corner, make it a little bit more transparent. But no, he's just like, I need credit. I need to put my big hat on my fucking screenshot.
I get a really big scoop. People thought it was bullshit, when I posted the texts between
This
Nick
is the image.
and it was Nick and Milo. When I posted those texts, people thought that was fake. They thought, RPG? No fucking way. No fucking way. RPG got those texts. They all thought it was bullshit. And I watermarked those because I thought, like, this is a big deal. Like, this, Nick with Kanye, that was a big story at the time. Like, that was something that had the potential to go, like, TMZ level mainstream. Realistically, because, Nick...
I'm someone who was there for that, and I was paying attention. I don't remember what Nick and Milo were discussing in that screenshot. Honestly, don't have a clue. Big thing! It could go TMZ! And then the people who are actually there are like, what was that thing about again? I'm currently thinking about Ralph eating poop. Like, what do you mean?
This is the evil neo-Nazi white supremacist. Oh, give me a second. Bad faith cocksucker in the Rumble chat. He says, whatever, I'm not even going to take the bait.
I'm not going to feed the trolls. You almost did.
So, $5
almost
to rejoin
baited
the chat.
once
You know
again.
what, Eric? 10 for you. 10 for you.
Fuck you, Eric. Not complaining, not
10 for
angry.
you. I think I know who that is, too. But if I say it, then they'll pretend I'm wrong, and they'll go, "Ha, RPG's a crazy person." So, but I think I know who that is, and I think they know that I know, so I'll just leave it at that.
Yes. Yes, you are a crazy person, RPG. You're complaining about the same thing you complained about 2 years ago, and you're expecting different results.
Yeah, so I put a watermark on it, and these people, like, who don't get scoops, they don't get any, they post shit.
Saying the
They
same
post
thing over
fake,
again because
made-up
he's
shit.
losing
That's
train
the only
of
reason why they
thought,
get
what he
any
was talking
attention at
about.
all. You know, it's like the National Enquirer. Like, if the National Enquirer started telling the truth, they wouldn't move a lot of product. So instead, they lie incessantly because there's an audience. Like you know when you go to the supermarket and you see the National Enquirer with the ridiculous story on the front, and you say, "Who in their right mind would ever buy such a thing?" A-logs, like people that watch the Kino Casino. Actually, like that's the type of human. That's the type of person that is actually like gullible enough to like think that shit is real. You know, like there are people that are that simple-minded.
Yep. Trying to think about where was I at again? Huh? So? Huh? I just repeated everything I said.
The original point. Yeah, so I never wanted to get involved with any of this sector shit. I really never did.
If you don't remember, but like right in the beginning in like the first clip, he said that same thing. Just this is RPG losing his train of thought, going, what, I'm not angry, guys. I'm not seething. Losing train of thought, rampage, seethes, oh, and then says the same thing over and over again. But it continues on. RPG continues the feasoning and repeating himself. But this time, he's going to be simping for the groypers.
Concerned, water under the bridge. I know a lot of people out there, they cannot accept that fact. I mean, look,
Can't accept
like,
that fact.
Minds change, people. Like, I'm sure there are many people in your life you can think of that you used to like, that you no longer like, and vice versa. That happens to everybody all the time. You know, there's a lot of people who used to hate Trump, and now they love Trump. There's a lot of people who used to love Trump. Well, not a lot of people, actually, but you get the point that I'm making, right? Like, think about how many libtards there are out there. In 2016, they hated Trump. They thought he was Hitler. They called him a Nazi, and now they love Trump. That's possible. And you might think, like, oh, but that's such a reversal. It is. But, you know, like, people's minds change. That happens. That happened to me. And these people cannot accept the
I now love Nick. I'm now a top groyper general. Bring me back into the inner circle, Nick. Please, please, please.
fact that my mind had changed and I was over it. It was 2 years. You know, it's like
How ironic for him to say that. How ironic for him. I'm over it, guys. That was 2 years ago. Well, he spent the whole last, I don't know, it was like 2-3 hours at that point, seething about something that happened 2 years ago and repeating himself over and over and over again, talking about the same talking points about those things that happened with those people 2 years ago. And here he's just like, I don't care, guys. That was 2 years ago. You hypocrite.
another part of the problem is to a lot of these people, it's their whole fucking life.
As far as we're all of our knowledge and all of we're concerned about RPG, you left 2 years ago. This is what you cared about. And now you came back talking about the same thing you cared about 2 years ago. That event, those things that happened 2 years ago, from our understanding, is the only thing you actually care about and is the entire purpose of meaning for your life.
These people, your entire life is like invested in this online drama. Your entire life is this online shit. Look, it's okay to dabble. It's entertaining. I find it entertaining.
Oh.
Don't get
I
me
thought you weren't
wrong,
keeping
like,
up with it.
I understand the appeal. But, like, some of these people, they just take it to this level where it's like, bro, like, there's more to life than this. There really is.
Yeah, RPG. There's more to life than this. Those things that you talked about, there really is. But he, of course, continues to seethe and feeze out. And boy, is this where it gets really crazy.
Gee, freaked out? No, the reason why I was not cool with having my docs signal boosted.
Let's go back. Oh.
People say RPG freaked out. No, the reason why I was not cool.
You had to pause and think about what kind of word do I use here. I didn't freak out. I didn't feeze. I didn't seethe. Oh, what is it? Oh, I was just not cool with it, bro. I'm chill now. I'm perfectly keeping my cool. Perfectly sane here and normal.
With having my docs signal boosted by allies is because of, like, the repercussions. The repercussions that come out of people that don't like you knowing your name. I don't need to explain that. Everybody gets that. That's why nobody wants to be doxxed. That's why, by the way,
fair, but
when people, you know,
you don't freak out.
Like when people are trying to, like, get smart with me,
You
they're
can
trying to
just
get slick
leave.
with me, it's like, okay, well then I'm gonna do it back to you. But I'm not allowed to do it back to you.
Well, that's where it gets, wrong and bad, because you have to realize the name's already out there, the information's already out there. You can't put, the toothpaste back into the toothpaste tube or whatever. It's already out there. They're just spreading it, quote quote spreading it, but they wouldn't be spreading it, RPG, if you weren't getting mad and angry about people calling you bald and 30.
You could do it to me, right? And, like, you can go after my family for...
Like, obviously nobody supports that and makes them look like shit. But, do you add, more wood to the fire that's burning? Do you give more reason for people to mock you, hate you, and actually ridicule you because now you're going out there doxing and harassing people in person?
Like, no reason. Like, my family has nothing to do with this at all. That's cool. That's cool. But then, like, if I reciprocate, which is all I ever do, everything that I've ever done has been reciprocal. That's like my moral code. That's how I operate, okay? I'm never going to throw the first punch, ever. I don't do that. That's not my temperament. It's not who I am. But if you throw the first punch at me, then I'm going to kill you. And that's, metaphorically speaking. That's my moral code.
That's my moral code. If you dox me, harass me, say mean things about me on the internet, I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm gonna rip out your throat. I'm gonna stalk you and harass you and plant bombs in your car because I'm phasing. Jeez, what a fucking statement. Ooh, I'm gonna kill you. I'm not angry, guys, though. But that is my moral code. That I'm gonna kill you. Oh, and the feasing continued, and quite frankly, this is definitely one of my favorite parts of the stream. It's where RPG, talks about how he absolutely has no regrets. Zero, zilch. Except for one.
Ben Steller says, got any takes on lefty dramas like Destiny? I'm asking for questions, relative to the current discussion. Maybe later I'll get to that, but...
Nobody cares about the current discussion.
Bob France has question, if you could go back and never stream, would you? I have no regrets in my life whatsoever. I mean...
No regrets.
Everything in my life that's happened, good or bad, has led me to where I am in this moment.
Yes,
and
yes, it is.
That being the case, I have no regrets at all. And maybe that'll make more sense to you guys at some point in the future. But, currently speaking...
It actually makes sense right then and there. Right there at that moment. Why you're talking about the exact same bullshit that happened 2 years ago, that you don't actually regret it. That you can't actually reflect on your actions and your behaviors and the things that you did. Maybe if you were capable of doing something like that, maybe we would understand. Maybe, things would have changed and people would have looked back to you in a more positive way. But no, you have no regrets. Obviously.
Really the only thing that's missing in my life at this point is a bitch. Okay? I just need a bitch. That's it.
But wait, RPG, you told us earlier, I don't struggle in that department with women. I do perfectly fine with women. And now he's sitting there like, give me some pussy. I need some pussy crumbs. Give me the pussy.
Okay, then we could
He's
do
bald.
the family thing. Then we could do, we could do all that. That's basically like, that's the last step. And then once we get the bitch, then I'll feel complete. And I'll feel like, I've achieved everything that I've needed to. Toon Porn Watcher says, will you do a collab with Grace Thorpe? No, she is a very,
Wait.
I don't even know if I want to talk about that.
Wait a minute. Huh?
Those people are total freaks.
How do you know?
Looks like she's,
I thought you weren't paying
gained a few
attention to
pounds,
drama.
right?
I thought you weren't paying attention to the drama, RPG. The Thorpes came after you left, after you bombed off the internet. What do you mean? What do you mean? It's not like you haven't been behind the scenes this entire time, watching everybody's single move, those who are mocking you, making a list and checking it twice of your haters, your A-logs, your gay logs. No, he doesn't care about the drama, but he knows about it. And he doesn't care about something that happened 2 years ago, but he spent an entire stream bitching about it. If not one stream, more like 3 at this point. But that's it. That's it. And, there was some more parts of the stream that happened, but I really didn't care for it. One of them was he went over the part I covered, his little thread on Kinoche that I did in 20 minutes, and it took him like an hour and a half to go over a single Twitter thread. It was pretty boring, pretty bad. If you want to learn more about that, just watch the first video about it. It's far more entertaining. And that's really it. That's the only thing else that happened. The stream kind of died down at that point. People were constantly kicked and left. So this has been the first battle of World War Fees between the A-Logs and the RPG heads, or whatever the fuck you call them. Just RPG himself, and maybe the people that he considers somewhat his friends that he's acquainted with. So hide your children, and hide your wife. Tedzilla is stomping around the sector, similarly to a child throwing a temper tantrum and shitting himself in the aisle of a toy store. Like, come on. It was pathetic, it was wormish, and it was weak. So I've been the King's Fool, and I hope you all have a good one.